Hey there, Saguto golfers. Tom Saguto here, PGA member, founder of SagutoGolf, and in this week's episode, we are uncovering 2 swing keys that changed my golfing life forever, and I think they'll change your golfing life forever too. And for the better, your ball striking will go through the roof, more distance, better consistency with these 2 keys. And these 2 keys came from my first stack and tilt lesson. So you're learning exactly what I learned that first lesson, and it changed me forever. It took me from shooting 95 to 75 in a span of 2 weeks. It didn't even take that much work, just a couple practice sessions here and there for like 30 minutes. If you're new here, click the subscribe button because you want to achieve the best ball striking of your life today. I'm gonna help you get there. Without further ado, let's get started. Get your swing samurai swords out, and we're gonna start with part 1 today. Swinging the hands in. The hands in concept. What exactly is it? What do I mean when I say hands in? My very first stack and tilt lesson, I was told that my arms were too high up here and that I had no chance of really approaching that ball from the inside like all of us are trying to do. We're always taught to swing in to out to right field, or just approach the ball from the inside. And yes, we should do that because it's the most direct, powerful route to the ball. Just listen to that power. Whereas the lifting is not a direct route to the ball, it's a direct route to the ground, which in turn runs your golf game into the ground. So when we're swinging up, it's like high-fiving yourself on an angle. It's not very powerful, and you can't coordinate the club face at all. Like, you might come in open, you might have to roll your hands, too much work. But with this, swinging the hands in around, it's direct power all the time. You can actually hear that when you high-five yourself, okay? And I want to high-five y'all when you make this change. It will change your life forever for the better in your golf game. Swinging the hands in, what does it look like? Well, here's what it looks like at the top. That's all it looks like. Your hands are behind the trail shoulder. You know what it does for you? There's so many benefits that swinging the hands in does for you. It gets the hips turning automatically. It gets a beautiful body pivot right here. It even helps you access more power than you'd ever get from lifting your arms and dropping the club. Even more power potential than somebody like Bubba Watson, who swings it up here. Because in the golf swing, we talk about width. Width is just a measurement of how long your swing is from the butt of the club to the ball. So if I'm Bubba Watson, I'm way up here. Most of us can't get to that position because we're not flexible enough, we don't practice all the time, and really, let's be straightforward, we'd hurt ourselves in our backs if we got to that position. He's a freak of nature, he's a super athlete, we can't all do that. We want to hit it as far as him, but we can't all do that. You see up here, I've got about 8 feet of width from the butt of the club to the ball. But my arms are really high, and it's a tough position for me to maintain on a regular basis. You know, we can get that same amount of 8 foot worth power if we just do this. That's the hands in. If we just do this, the butt of the club to the ball is still 8 feet. But look at the difference in backswings. Ton of backswing width. This looks like a half swing. Same amount of power potential. 8 feet, 8 feet. You take your pick, but I guarantee, I bet your bottom dollar, you'll want to have the one with less effort because it will produce less stress on your body over time, and you'll hit it just as far and even more consistent because there's no need for you to drop the club in the slot. Everybody talks about this magical slot you got to drop into. Well, just forget about dropping in the slot. Put the club in the slot in the backswing. You're good to go. The hands are in. Another fantastic benefit to swinging those hands in. We get to access the power of swinging in a circle. The golf swing is a circle, as we talked about in the swing plane episode. So if it's a circle, we should just swing the club around our bodies. Life will be so much easier instead of lifting and dropping and turning and turning. All those motions to coordinate. Less coordination with this. Now, who in golf history has ever swung their hands in? Nobody, right? I mean, only Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Tiger Woods, Zach Johnson, Charlie Hoffman, Bobby Jones, practically everybody on tour, Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy, Chuck Norris, the guy in Caddyshack, Bill Murray. They did okay. I think they did okay. They did okay for golfers. Pretty much everybody on tour takes their hands in, they won't tell you. Here we are with the drill setup. You know why we need to take the hands in. It's so much more power potential. There's no need to drop the club in the slot anymore, which means less reliance on the hands for timing, a lot of less hand-eye coordination. It's more a body-centric swing. It's more body-friendly because it gets the body turning. How many more benefits do I need to list here? Here's what we need to do. Get a setup just like this. Target line, club head line, hand path line. You can use clubs, doesn't matter. Sticks, clubs, it all works. We're gonna focus on training this motion. Here we go. So I'm going to do things in threes. I like to practice in threes because it helps you ingrain the motion much quicker. And if you recall, I'm a big proponent of exaggerating the feel. Here's what we need to do. If you trace these lines, you'll take the club in enough. There we go, hands in, hands behind my right shoulder. That's the benchmark I want to get to. Wow, that feels good. You'll turn into a robot doing this swing. Do the drill with me right now. Get your setup. Once you got this all set up, pause the video right now, get yourself set up. Here we go. Hit play again. Trace the lines. We're gonna do this in threes. 3 rehearsals, then hit. If you're somebody who has been lifting or taking the club straight back and up for a while, believe me, this is gonna feel really around. Trace the lines, be just fine. Tracing the lines, I'm watching the lines. There we go, hands are in. I know this because it feels more like this. Like if I'm standing up straight, it feels like this. It's the most direct path back to the ball. All right. Here we go again, tracing the lines, rehearsal. One more rehearsal, then we're gonna hit it. All right. Now when I hit this ball, I'm gonna stop at the top and then hit it. Ooh, that felt good. That's one of the best ways to practice because we need to build an awareness of this feeling and hit from this position. Now my next shot is going to be a full swing without thinking about the motions. Here we go. Wow. I've been doing this swing for 7 to 10 years, somewhere in there. And it still amazes me the level of compression that you get with that club. And you can feel it right away. It just feels like mashed butter on the face. Mashed potatoes with butter, maybe a little cracked pepper. It's so good. I want you to experience the same feeling that I'm getting, that compressed, buttery feeling off the club face. And not only that, it's effortless. The ball is going really far. I can feel it. You'll want to do this with every club. Driver, 3-wood, long irons, everything, pitching wedges. It's the same swing for everything. No need to figure out where to drop the club anymore. It's the same swing. We've got different club in the box with the same swing. It's the same function. How simple is that? It doesn't get any simpler than that. And that's why tip 1, swinging the hands in, is so important to get. My first lesson with this, I was hitting the driver about 260, and instantaneously switching the hands in one lesson, within the lesson, I was hitting at 280 carry. So there's a lot of proof. This is a proven system for hitting the ball far as possible, as straight as possible, and having as much fun as possible. Come on, jump on the train, Seguto golfers. If you don't believe this distance and this improvement in your swing is possible, you need to change your mindset. Just imagine what happened in one lesson for me can happen for you right now in this video tip, just by swinging those hands in. Imagine hitting the ball 20 yards plus further just through this one tip. It can happen to you just like it happened to me, and it's made my golf game a heck of a lot more fun. I want you to have as much fun as I am playing golf, striking the ball with buttery consistency. It's so much fun. It's not a miserable game. The game of golf needs more fun and more simplicity. I'm here to deliver that for you.